Oh, Tashidele, everyone. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome back to the Lojong session. Yeah, so we start with taking a few moments to settle ourselves in the present moment by placing your focus on the natural breathing in and out. Okay, so then take a moment to refresh our refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. On the basis of that, generate altruistic intention to utilize this very session to be most beneficial for the numberless sentient beings, temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. And also dedicate this session to be a complete cause to pacify the suffering and the conflict that it is happening between Israel and Palestinian. The conflict pacify right away and actualize harmony, understanding, peace, forgiveness, and virtue and happiness and compassion. Also dedicate this very session to be cause for all the people who are suffering from COVID-19, in particularly in some part of the world like India, Nepal, and some other part of the world where they have difficult with the medical facilities. So may our sessions to be blessings and meritorious conditions for them to actualize all the needs and free them from any form of suffering. And also dedicate to those who died, in particular those who died in untimely death due to war, due to diseases, etc. Sangye Jadang Zoje Jonala Janju Bado Dani Jazunje Daji Jinzo Jebe Zonamye Dola Benje Sangye Rubara Jo Sangye Jadang Zoje Jonamla Janju Bado Dani Jazunje Daji Jinzo Jebe Zonamye
Dola benje sanje drubrajo, sanje jodan zoye jonala, chanju bado dane jazonje, daje jinzoje be zonamje, dola benje sanje drubarai. Gangi doje ne zone, dawa damje, bambe jire, dambe jone denje be, godam de la janse. Tony ni je zondo jo be lama zeje zeje ganje dendenge, chana be ma denzen jazola, zoan de zoda yunjinje. Semje damje dewa dang dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dang dunga je judan dawra juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa juje semje damje nyere jada nidan dawe danyo la nebra juroje semje damje dewa dang dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dang dunga je judan dawa juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa juje semje damje nyere jada nidan dawe danyo la nebra juroje semje damje dewa dang dewe judan dembra juje semje damje dunga dang dunga je judan dawa juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa juje semje damje nyere jada nidan dawe danyo la nebra juroje. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we are still studying Will of Sharp Weapon by Dhammarashita. And if you are using the same volume, then we are on page 145. And we have completed up to verse 75. And today we will go through verse 76. And it is still within the practice of purifications of the past karmic consequences, the sufferings and negative impacts, or is to purify those actions that we are committing. Right now we are being habitual with those wrong actions, which are the cause for future sufferings. And all these negativities are byproduct of self-grasping, his conception of self-grasping ignorant, and self-cherishing attitude, self-cherishing ego-centered attitude. Since these defilements are very stubborn, very intense, which we can understand how intense, how stubborn these defilements are from the situation where we are in. We have taken numberless lives in the past, and we are still continuing this samsaric continuation. We are unable to purify the samsara. So that is one of the proof. The second proof is numberless Buddhas have exist. Not only that, special karmic affinited, 1,000 fortunate Buddhas to this southern wall within this era. Within this era of existence of this universe, the 4 fortunate Buddha have already descended, came into our world, and each and every one of them have actualized actualize the different Buddha's deeds, such as Buddha's 12 deeds. The deeds of enlightenment, in the central holy land in the Bodh Gaya, which is not that far from, even physically, from us. And many of us, we even been there. And this 1,000 earlier fortunate Buddhas, such as Shakyamuni Buddha, not that long ago, within the frame of numberless eons, it's just 2,600 years ago, and
we were still unable to follow, follow the Buddha's teaching, unable to utilize the full meaning of life, and due to continuous committing of negativities, that's why we are still, we are still not liberated. And these are the sign of how stubborn our negativities are, how intensity, from here you can weigh the intensity of our defilements. So therefore, in this teachings of Will of Sharp Weapon, there is a practice related to the Guru Yamantaka, the one of the essential, one of the main high secret tantric deity, most wrathful aspect of wisdom, of non-duality, appearing into a deity. So in relation to the meditation with the Yamantaka's practice, bring about more effectiveness to eradicate this intense, defilements. So we are still doing that. So if, as I mentioned last time, that if you are taking these individual verses onto, meditation, purification practices or the yogas, then, you visualize Guru Yamantaka. Then in relation to that, then, Guru, Guru Yamantaka as the from the four opponent power, the object of reliance, the first opponent power. Then recognizing the root cause of this samsara as the self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. Then when you go through the verses in those specific, specific negativities, then as far as concerned with the antidote, then meditate on emptiness. Meditate on emptiness. Then you conclude by the fourth opponent power of repentance, like that. So the verse 76, it says, when someone treat me as their family, I reveal their secret to their foe. When someone befriend me, I betray their trust with no pact of conscience. Dance and temple on the head of this betrayer, false conception, mortally strike at the heart of this butcher, enemy, ego. So this is, of course, it's talking about false characters of the person, false character of the person. So from blindly from the word, can understand how characterless, ordinary people behave. Those some more who regard as a family member, or those some more who regard as a close friend, then instead of respecting, others, the things that which not supposed to, share with others, reveal to others, do revealed, and which even in the common world, regarded that this is not this is not ethical, So especially for someone who practice Buddha Dharma, in particularly someone who practice Lojong and the Mayanic Dharma, then this flows, characters become a very serious negativities. Not something lightly. We cannot take lightly. These are very serious, because it brings inconvenience and harm to others' peace and others' well-being. You see, so in the concern of others' well-being, then we have to protect ourselves, committing, such inconvenience to any others. So this is like that. So basically, asking us to be very respectful and mindful of, not hurting anyone by any means. So when someone befriend me, I betray their trust with no lack of conscience. Yeah. So this is similar to the earlier line. Here, very much talking about have to be mindful on the basis of karma. So in relation to the meaning, according to the teaching, as a Dharma practitioner, as a Buddhist practitioner, on the basis of understanding of the karmic consequences, and as a Mahayanic Dharma practitioner, then in the concern of the basic principle of great compassion or altruism, then we never hurt others. We never hurt others. We never betray others. Yeah. So like it. So in short, it's very much talking about any action that we relate to any sentient being. We have to remember the karmic principle. Anything is harmful, whether it's even it may be just a light form of speech, as long as it contradicts from the virtue, then one shouldn't express it. If any form of action, if contradict from the principle of compassion and love and compassion and bodhicitta, then one shouldn't perform. So as long as we keep the precept of refraining from causing any harm to others, reframing causing harm to anyone else, you see. So to having that mindfulness. So very much talking about the importance of that mindfulness. So whenever we become careless about that, careless about karma, then careless about the principle of compassion, and that is very much, that is very much understood that it is our character, our attitudes are influenced by self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. So therefore, that need to be purified. So therefore, dance and temple on the head of this betrayer, false conception, mortal strike at the heart of this butcher, the enemy ego. Then verse 77, may ill temper is intense, my paranoia more coarse than everyone's hard to be friend. I constantly provoke others, negative traits. Dance and temple on the head of this betrayer, false conception, mortal strike at the heart of this butcher, enemy ego. Yeah. So this is also similar. It is talking about the character, in particularly. You see, we as a Buddhist practitioner, then a Mahayanic Dharma practitioner, we the moment that we start to speak false of others, that against the principal practice of Mahayanic Dharma. The moment we speak false of others, we harm others, we criticize others, we reveal negativities of others. We look down on others. We think lowly about others. These are all against the Buddhist principle. Buddhist principle. If someone, as a Buddhist, basic knowledge, that basic wisdom that we have to have as a Buddhist, to understand karma, how karma works. We need to have faith on karma. We need to have a conviction by understanding how karma works. All the bad thing that arises from our three doors, including the bad thoughts about others, it is the negative consequences of our own negative action. You see, so therefore, the moment negative intention arises in our thoughts in relation to someone, then instead of expressing that, rather we have to look inward into our heart, and we have to purify those negativities, using the antidote of the Dharma, you see, as a basic Buddhist principle, you see. So you see, from here we can understand how precious the teaching is, and how important that we need to know, as a baby Buddhist, one very fundamental basic practice is to understand the karma. You see, any bad thing that any bad things that come out from our body's vision mind, it is the result of bad karma, and that bad karma could be accumulated in relation to, very much could be accumulated in relation to harming other sentient beings, in the past. That's why replaying, as like repeating, not replaying, repeating the similar kind of act, again, cursing others, revealing others' faults, abusing others, provoking others, you see, like karmic results similar to the cause. If we haven't done such karma before, there won't be such a similar play again, you see. So this is a basic understanding of karma, you see. So then someone who is a Mahayanic Dharma practitioner, here the teaching is specifically focusing on Lojong practitioner, Mahayanic Dharma practitioner. So in the practice of altruism, then you see, any negativities that expresses within our body's vision mind, it has to be understood that it is arising from the self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude, your own ignorant, those attitudes arises, your own self-centered, ego-centered mind. That's why, you blame others, you criticize others, you abuse others, you harm others, you reveal others' faults, etc. You see. So as a Mahayanic Dharma practitioner, whatever nasty treatment that others, no question about just delusional arising in your mind without directly relating to the actions of others, the arising of just hallucinational, the thinkings, wrong thinkings about other, it has to be arising by the force of, heavy ignorance of self, grasping misconception, and self-cherishing, ego-centered attitude, such as attachment, such as aversion, etc., jealousy, etc. That's why, you have this kind of emotion. Even in the cause of someone directly harming you, someone directly harming you, like abuse you, criticize you, look down on you, etc. Then, as a practitioner of the Mahayanic Dharma, then you need to, instead of retaliating them, you need to reply with a gesture of love and compassion and forgiveness and kindness, understanding that, again, the fundamental cause of why these people are harming to you is the root cause is within yourself, this self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. Or this has to be understood. You see, so this is the way how Dharma practitioners should deal with adversities. Dharma practitioners should deal with, harm givers. You see, you see how wonderful all the Dharma practice, how wonderful everybody practice like that. Then there won't be such conflicts, like war, etc. inconvenient about people, won't happen. You see, so there even there are so many people that who gone into conflicts, fightings because of ignorance. But even those who learn Dharma, who already learn so much of Dharma, so many years in the Dharma study, and in particularly, if someone claiming as a Mahayanic practitioner, you see, and still, we be out there to harm others, to criticize others, to abuse others, mm, uh, everything you blame to someone else, faults, so that shows, you know, how poorly your Dharma education is. That shows how little Dharma practice that you have accustomed to. You see, so this is something that individually we have to meditate, and we have to understand. Whenever problem comes, you see, in particularly as in a human society, uh, so many are still enveloped with heavy ignorance and heavy graspings, heavy attachment, heavy aversion, heavy misunderstandings, comparing to who really practice Dharma and don't practice Dharma. The majority don't practice Dharma. Even among the practitioner of the Dharma, who really understand and who don't understand, more don't understand, or even within the practitioner who understand the Dharma, how many of them that they really take account to practice is comparing is a practitioner is truly very little. Even those who really practice, but then many, comparing between the failure and the successful practitioner, the successful practitioners are so little, and you see, so someone who really able to take the Dharma learning, Dharma practices onto the path is so few. So therefore, it's very much like we are living in the nest, in a snake nest. We are living into a poisonous snake or poisonous spider nest. You see, so if we don't have a very clear, guaranteed protection, guaranteed protection for our mind, easily can be harmed. Easily can be harmed. Means easily can be committed negative karma. You see, we won't be able to protect from the influence of the self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. You see, so therefore we need to wear the armor of a very intense the protection, which is the intense habitual in the Dharma practices. You see, so therefore, when things are right, when things are good, we have to practice even more. You see, when things are doing good, when there's no problem, when we are in a comfortable position, so that's the time that we need to practice harder. We need to give more time to practice. You see, so then when the problem arises in our life, then we are fully ready because we are fully protected. You see, we are fully protected. So if we practice only when the problem arises, then we won't be able to protect. Even how much the Dharma, the actual taking Dharma onto the path, the training is not developed within our continuum. It means that the habitual training, through deeper meditation is not there yet. So because of that, then when the problem arises, when the negative emotion arises, we will be it's very much like like a flood. Nothing can stop. Once the flood pass through, when the flood burst through, then it's so difficult to fence it like that. You see. So this is talking about that. So you see, so this teaching is also teaching us that when we as a Mahayanic Dharma practitioner, Lojong practitioner, when we are among people, among animals or among people, then if we see our ill-tempered is more intense than them, our paranoia is more gross than any one of them, and that shows how intense influence by self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. That shows that how weak our practice is. You see. So this is very much, guide of self-reflection. When we are among with us. In another way to understand is that we as a Mahayanic practitioner, then when we are among with others, we have to be better than others. When it comes to the controlling of our negative emotion, controlling of negative doings, through our body, speech, and mind. You see, even the negativities may arise, but it cannot be so more coarse than others. We at least may arise, but immediately you know how to control it. You know how to, bring under control, not to express. You see, so these are so important, so important. You see, everywhere is distraction. Everywhere is so easy to flame. Our delusion. When we see attractive thing, so easy to arise attachment. When we get little kind of like, if someone express a little how to say wrong word, little wrong word, it's so easy to get offended. If we say little unpleasant things, so easy to be offended. Because of the so much habitual grasping attitude, grasping influence that we carry within our continuum, so easy to get disturbed, so easy. Just with a tiny little wording can offend you, tiny little gesture can offend you. You see, so as a Mahayanic Dharma practitioner, we have to be like a concrete, like a mountain, very steady. Right in front of thousands of people, scold you, criticize you. You have to be as steady like a mountain, unshakable, unshakable on the basis of accepting your karma. If you really did it, then you accept, without blaming anyone else. You see, or even if you don't know, that you have done such a negativity, then immediately to understood that I must have done such kind of karma in my past lifetimes. Now this karma is ripening upon me, in this criticism. So instead of retaliating, instead of saying bad thing back, taking revenge, retaliation, you rather generate compassion to them. Then it's very composed, very steady, composed. Have to be like that. This is a practitioner. You see, you see, and someone that if you carry clairvoyance, if you are arahats, or if you are enlightened being, so you see, like Shakyamuni Buddha, or like many of our guru, you see, who have omniscient mind, then due to the sentient beings overwhelming with the influence of negative negative emotion, then they just simply throw their express their negative emotion. We say, and you may be part of that, that group, or in a collective environment. Then you were, or you may be directly targeted, whatever it may be. You see, due to the ignorance of sentient beings karma, committing so heavy karma, then blaming to you, then you wholeheart, you have never committed such negative karma. you know that this is absolutely coming out from this sentient beings, ignorant, So then generate immense of compassion, generate immense of compassion. Uh, okay. Generate immense of compassion, and try to help to liberate, that poor sentient being. That it should be something like that. You see, so these are very, very important, practical, and we really need to keep clearly in our understanding, in our heart, and we need to utilize, these teachings in action. When we are among with our families and friends, and or just simply walking on the street. Someone maybe due to someone in distress, or someone maybe mentally disturbed one, and suddenly when you are passing by that person, hold a stone and throw onto you. For practitioner like Mayanic Dharma practitioner, Lojong practitioner, then we cannot get angry. We have to generate even more compassion. We need to find a way to help that person. That should be the way. Is in the family, even though you never do wrong thing, even though you've been helpful, but everyone comes and blame you. Everyone's just kind of point finger on you. Then you as a mind and Dharma practitioner never should be disturbed. Rather you take as opportunity to purify the karma. Rather take opportunity to generate compassion. The more they finger point on you, you even be more in service of their well-being. So like that. So this is how this is what the teaching means. Like that. Mm. Mm. Then also can relate to those who are practitioner of tantra. You see, one of the essence of the tantric practice is to practice pure view. Pure view. So anyone who is practicing Hayasukya Tantra, that means daily yoga practice has to be with you, inseparable for 24 hours. Rest of your life. So one of the main Guru Yoga or the Deity Yoga practice is oneself oneness with the deity, meaning whatever you hear, you have to hear like the mantra or the teaching of the Buddha, of the deity. Whatever you see, everything as a celestial activities, or the or the deities, Dakatakinis, whatever thought arises, every single thought, have to be interpreted as the thoughts of the deity, which is the compassion or the wisdom. You see, so and so this teaching is talking about that when we are with others, then we see everything negative. So then that against the practice. You see, whoever we meet, we see lowly about them. We see negative about them. That against the practice. You see, in the practice of tantra, whoever you see, how bad that person may behave, you still need to focus on the pure, the practice of pure view, seeing the Buddha nature within that person. So like that, you see. So the teaching can relate, in so many ways. You see. So whatever degree of practices that you are practicing, you should interpret that way. In short, right here we are practicing Lojong, so everything has to be related in relation to altruism, like that. So if we feel we are poorly in this practice, then that has to be due to self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. Then therefore, you purify it. Dance and temple on the head of this betrayer, false conception, mortal strike at the heart of this butcher, the enemy ego. Verse 78. When someone asks for favor, I ignore him, yet covertly cause him harm. When someone respect my wishes, I don't concur but seek distribute from afar. Dance and temple on the head of this betrayer, false conception, mortally strike at the heart of this butcher, enemy ego. So you see, so as a Mayanic Dharma practitioner, as an altruistic, Dharma practitioner, Lojong practitioner, then whenever you see, whenever that people need help, you have to help them in your very best. Especially when people come and request your help, you have to do that. You have to help in your very best capability. You see, so yeah, never say no. In relation to when people need your help, unless that you really don't have time, you really don't have resources, otherwise, if the help that needed to do in action, then you have to do in your best ability. You see, in particularly Lojong practitioner, altruistic practitioner, one of the precept of Lojong precept is, engaging, gathering of altruistic virtue, which is in relation to offering benefit to sentient beings, fulfilling the needs of sentient beings. You see, like such as the practice of benefiting, like generosity of benefiting sentient beings. You see, so this are talking about. And not only that, as even for Buddhist practitioner, you see, like Buddha have said that never commit non-virtuous, commit only wholesome actions. So the basic Buddhist principle is, committing, refraining from committing negative karma, and always accumulating wholesome actions. So where you accumulate wholesome action, the wholesome actions are accumulated in relation to, working for the well-being of sentient being. You see, benefiting sentient beings' well-being. So like that. Mm. 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 So if you say you are a Mahayanic practitioner, then if you ignore, not only that, you even cause obstacle to these people to get help, or these sentient beings to get help, then that is heavy karma, and that is that will transgress the Bodhisattva precepts. You see, so if you can help, do so. But if you cannot help because of you are really in limitation, but then at least do not cause harm, do not cause obstacle, to getting help from others. So if we are not mindful, there's a danger of committing like that. You see, it can be happened in the individual level, in the organizational level, in national level, international level. You see, it's a very, very, very individual in a group. So have to, So as a follower of the Mahayanic Dharma, follower of the Buddha Dharma, so we have to be very, very careful in that. And even arising in the attitude. Our attitude will be filled that even if someone asks help, if you are unable to help, then at least your heart filled with the thought of dedicating prayers, wishes for that person to receive the necessary help, like that. Then when you happen to hear that someone be there to help, then you rejoice. So this is the Dharma way. You see, Dharma way. You see, and if not careful, sometimes if you are unable to help, and when someone try to help, you get jealous, and since you cannot help, even there's someone, is someone volunteer to help, then in order to protect your limitation, then you even become obstacle for others helping. Very dangerous. This can be a very lowly, human character errors may occur. So have to be very careful like that. Then when someone respect my wishes, I don't controversy dispute. Then you see, as a Mahayanic Dharma practitioner, no question about if someone benefits you, then you must repay back the kindness at least with the prayers or in action, whatever way possible. Our job of being Mayanik Dharma practitioner is repay the kindness of numberless sentient beings, all the way up to the ultimate benefit of their enlightenment. You see, so you see, so like that. Instead of offering benefit, some more. That if someone being kind to you, helpful to you, then you take advantage of them, you harm them, then that's the worst, so that is characterless, you see. That against the Mahayana Dharma, that against Buddha Dharma, you see. So as a Mahayana Dharma practitioner, without any doubt, even the slightest happiness that we experience, even the sensual happiness that we experience, in everything comes from the result of benefiting sentient beings, by product of the rest of the numberless sentient beings, kindness. That's why even the slightest form of sensual pleasure also we have chance to experience. No question about the result of enlightenment is by product of kindness of mother sentient being. You see, so therefore we are always indebted to work for repaying the kindness of numberless sentient beings. There shouldn't be even one single moment of causing harm to anyone. So this is the precept. This is the precept. So now if we bring that into action, we have to bring that into action, which meaning that we should start repaying the kindness, starting from your own parents, your own spouse, your own children, people around you, your own parents, like that, your friends. You start from there. So whoever with you, whoever near you, there's a reason. Whoever near you, including the animals like pets, dogs and cats, everyone, there's a reason. Karmic connection. Reason is there. You see, as a Mahayana Dharma practitioner, repaying the kindness of other sentient beings, start from there. Start from the nearest person. Okay, so this has to be carry on to practice. You see, so if we neglect the people nearest to us, the being nearest to us, and we try to be helpful outside somewhere else, so then there clearly shows some error in our practice, mistake. You see. So therefore, like even Atisha have advised, to in the practice of altruism, in the practice of Lojong, which is all about benefiting sentient being, then you start with the nearest beings, nearest person, whom would you, like that. So you see, so from here, then we understand no way that even we our ordinary mind, that we don't see these people that around you have benefited you, but in actual fact, all of them have benefited you, and all of them continue to going to be beneficial all the way up to your enlightenment. Even when they're causing harm to you, they are benefiting you. You see, no question about they are directly, virtually assisting you. But even when they are engaging negatively towards you, let's say abusing you, harming you, in the practice of Lojong, in the practice of bodhicitta, they are as precious as your guru, your precious guru. There's no different than your precious guru of this harm giver, of this person who's harming you. You see, so from there, you develop your practice of patience, practice of compassion, like that. So you see, so in the eyes of Lojong practitioner, in the eyes of altruistic practitioner, there's no harm giver at all out there. Whatever way sentient being relate to you, virtually or non-virtually, in the eyes of the Lojong practitioner, everything is beneficial for the development of your path. Therefore, everyone, in any way relate to you, they are object of your benefit. object of your repaying their kindness. So in generally for general Buddhists, then in the practice of karma, then whatever way they relate to you, it is an opportunity for you to accumulate more merit or take the opportunity to purify the past karma, past karmic connection. If others are relating negatively towards you, it take the opportunity to purify the past karma, past karmic relationships, so that you can you can establish new virtuous karmic relationship with those harm givers. You see, so that oneself no need to suffer in the lower realm in the future lifetime due to the impact of the karma. If someone relating virtually to you, then take the opportunity to strengthen that virtuous karmic connection, so that it can be so beneficial, so beneficial, conducive condition to develop your path, your altruistic path. So if we are unable to do that, whatever mentioned before, then it is very much obstacle coming from the influence of self-grasping, ignorant, and self-cherishing attitude. So therefore, should purify. Dance and temple on the head of this betrayer, false conception, mortal strike at the heart of this butcher, enemy ego. Then verse 79, I dislike advice and am always difficult to be with. I'm easily offended, and my grudge is always strong. Dance and temple on the head of this betrayer, false conception, mortal strike at the heart of this butcher, enemy ego. Yeah. So you see, again, you see, whenever someone give us dharma advice, virtuous advice, ask us to cultivate 10 virtuous actions, ask us to cultivate 5 precepts, follow Buddha, follow Dharma, follow Sangha, etc. Then if you feel not right, if you feel unpleasant, or if you feel those advice are useless, so that means there's something is a playing for you to behave that way, which is self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. So we have to understand that way, you see. And also, oneself becomes so difficult to be with anyone, so difficult to be with, even so difficult to be within yourself. You always get angry. You always get angry about yourself. You always see limitation about yourself. You always see negatively about yourself. Like lowly about yourself. You see, so this is a play of self-grasping, self-cherishing attitude. So I have to understand that. We become so difficult person, when we mix among others. You see, you feel uncomfortable with anybody. Comes their way. If someone try to treat you nicely, you feel uncomfortable. You have this negative idea of maybe people want to cheat you. When someone start to criticize you, you think they're very bad people, so you're difficult to be. Someone ignore you, they think that they're ignoring you. They don't regard, they don't respect you. Like always carry negative interpretation, in relation to any act that other people do, and you are so difficult to be with them, or others feel so difficult to be with you. Others feel that you are so easy to get angry. You are so easy to, you're so fussy. You are so, how to say, ego-centered. You see, you cannot adjust, and be convenient with the flow. You have very kind of like a very very stubborn, grasping one-sided kind of ideas. So all these are play of self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. You see, self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. You see, so so now as a Mahayana Dharma practitioner, as a Mahayanic Dharma practitioner, no question about that. You appreciate you appreciate the Dharma advices, virtuous advices from anyone about observation of even like 5 precepts, observation of 10 virtuous actions. No question about you are delighted. Even you're already Mahayanic Dharma practitioner, Lojong practitioner, but someone reminded you about observation of the 10 virtues. It doesn't hurt your ego. It just feels so blessed. You feel so uplifted. It's someone voicing out to strengthen the practice of virtues. You see, every time that you hear any form of virtues suggestions, virtuous advice, you feel so good. When you hear someone is conducting that, you feel so good. When someone influence you and advise you, suggest you, you feel so good. Even though you're already practicing, but you just take as a like compliment. You just take as a like a reassurance for you to practice even more serious. Then of course, when you hear about advices and teachings of altruism, you see you're already practicing, but then re-emphasizing the importance of altruism, importance of being big heart, importance of generating great compassion, importance of engaging in the deeds of 6 paramita, in relation to elevating sentient beings from suffering and abiding them into all the happiness. You see, whenever you hear even one time, either they are suggesting you, either they are kind of ordering you to practice such a way, whatever way, you feel so blessed, you feel so delighted, you feel so great, so good. You see, so we have to have that kind of understanding. So that if we carry like that, then that means we have a little self-cherishing, little self-grasping. Or in another way, maybe the self-grasping, self-cherishing are completely under control, or maybe already purified, whatever it may be. You see, or you are already well trained in the path. You are well trained in the path. So therefore, your system always carry like correct vessel as a correct vessel. You see, so whatever nectar pours onto you, that you receive it and you enjoy it like that. You see, now then, as a Buddhist practitioner, we have to be so flexible. You see, so flexible. In the regard of karma, in the regard of karma, then you see everything. You just take it so easily. Interpreting in karma. When you are with you, if you are alone yourself, when any bad thing happens, any bad thoughts arises, like any bad thought arises, or any negative speech that you happen to express, or any kind of like physical negative action that you may perform, don't abuse yourself. Rather, be compassionate to yourself, and rather be kind to yourself. Rather, you interpret in the understanding of karma, and either take as opportunity to purify, either feel delighted that now you're able to catch the thief. You see, catch the thief, catch the negation. Now you know what to be negated. You see, so like a thought of thinking lowly about yourself, like a thought of depression. Suddenly, when depression comes, then immediately say, "Oh, this is because of not carrying the Dharma wisdom," or this is because of my ignorance, or this is because of the misconception. Therefore, I should clear away this kind of negative thinkings. You see, so like that. You see, or I must have committed, and I'm sure I've committed negativities in the past. So therefore, now I feel like depressed. I feel negative about myself. You see, so this is definitely has to do with past negative action. So therefore, right now, I take refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Then I recite mantras like Om Mani Padme Hum, or I, whatever Dhamma knowledge that you have, I mean, as a Buddhist, at least refuge, definitely that you know. So then immediately you just take refuge and purify that karma. Instead of stay in depression, stay in negative thinking. Immediately you liberate yourself. You see, so you are so easy to be with you even in the difficult time. You see, you understand? You are so easy to be with you. You see, you are so easy to help. You become so easy to help by yourself. We have to be like that. You see, you think carefully. Many not like that. Many, you will know. You will know how easy yourself to help yourself. Many you may find that you are so difficult. You are so difficult to help by yourself. That means there's a limitation of Dharma practice. So now from here, now you learn. Okay, you see, you cannot be difficult person to help by yourself. You have to be such an easy person to be helped by yourself. Anyway, you see, especially this depression thinking, especially thinking lowly about yourself, negative about yourself. You see, especially now during this pandemic, sometimes we need to stay in the lockdown. We need to stay alone. We need to stay with the difficult people. Then if you don't help yourself, if you don't become an easy person to help by yourself, then you suffer. You see, you create more negative karma. You create more disharmony. You create disharmony with others. You create disharmony about yourself, which can be very, very, very serious. You see, so we have to train ourselves to be so easy to help by ourselves. Okay, so easy to help by ourselves. We have to become like the Toma door. Toma door. So easy. The plaster is so easy to make all sort of shape. We need to become like that. So easy to make all the different shape. You cannot be concrete. Like that. No, you cannot. I am like that. I used to be like that. I have to be like that. We cannot be like that. We have to be so moist and so flexible. Like a Toma door. This the Tibetan will say. You have to be so flexible like a Toma door. See? So we as an ordinary person, we as a beginner in the path, surely, depression will come. Thinking negative about yourself will come. You see, sometimes say wrong things from your speech. Sometimes you say wrong words. Sometimes you may bang to the wall. You see, you may get angry about unnecessary things. Maybe you may not even have a reason. You don't even remember reason, but you just get angry within you. Just feel frustrated. You see, and you cannot allow this to remain, remain in our system. We have to liberate ourselves as soon as possible. Before being it's too habitual. So before getting into deep depression, before getting into like so easy to arising negativities and get influenced by negativities. As I mentioned before, we have to be like a mountain. Very steady. Mountain here is not like I have to be like mountain here. Steady means steady in curing yourself, liberating yourself. You are not easy to easy to get fluctuated by negative emotions. You see, so like that. You see, so you have to be so easy to help yourself. So in the name of Mahayanic Dharma, Lojong practice. Oh wow. You have to be so easy, even more easy. You see, in the name of compassion. You see, your purpose of life is for the benefit of numberless sentient beings' happiness, isn't it? Your purpose of life is your purpose of practice of Lojong, practice of Mahayanic Dharma. Altruism is to liberate entire numberless sentient being from any form of suffering, isn't it? That's your motivation, isn't it? Abide them into a temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness. That's our objective, isn't it? start from you. The job start from yourself. You see, job have to start from yourself. So if you're successfully able to do that job with you, then you may able to do that with your parents and your spouse and your friends and rest of the humanity, rest of the sentient being. If you can't handle yourself, if you can't subdue yourself, no way that one can able to subdue someone else. So that is also a karmic law. You see, you see. We need to first we need to be fully qualified, subduing ourselves. As I mentioned before, we cannot expect that we are completely purified from the root of self-grasping, self-cherishing, and all the delusions. We are still working on that. Yeah. So delusion may arise, attachment may arise, anger may arise, depression may arise, but since we already, not just as a beginner practitioner, we're already practicing Lojong, we're already practicing altruism. So by now, there's no excuses. We really have to have the capability, have a certain degree of training that immediately that we're able to help ourselves, liberating from the crisis of emotions. Okay, so it may repeat again and again, but we have to come to a position that we don't prolong the emotional crisis, negative emotional crisis, more than a few seconds or or a minute or whatever. We have to bring back ourselves in the right track of Dharma wisdom. You see, so like that. So now, as a Mayani Dhamma practitioner, when we are with others, we have to be so easy. We have to be so flexible. You see, we have to be so flexible. Even though, like, let's say, like sanghas, they may have certain restrictions. You see, sangha have certain like physical restrictions out there. You know, then if you in the environment of rituals, there are also certain restrictions, etc. There, then in the the law of the country, law of the states, etc. There's certain restriction there. Yeah, but then as far as concerned with the openness, easiness in the virtue, that complement to any rule and regulations, including the monastic vows. You see, any form of virtue that based on ethics, that based on virtue, that complement with any kind of restrictions and rules and regulations and even monastic vows. You see, so therefore, in the attitude of great compassion and altruism, great compassion and altruism, that makes the person so comfortable with anyone in any form of behavior, that you have a skillful means to deal with it. You have a skillful means to adjust. You see, you have a skillful means to adjust. You see, so as I mentioned before, let's say as a sangha, there's certain restrictions are there that you have to observe, but then others are relating with the virtue, then we cannot have that kind of like a concrete kind of very restricted idea that will make others inconvenient, like inconvenient in the sense, like especially like sanghas, when people want to accumulate merits. You see, sanghas are the object to accumulate merits, like merits of service, merits of offerings, through offerings, merits through praises, merits through prostrations. You see, so sometime some sangha, when sudden, maybe in your culture you may not have that people come and some like a lay practitioner who understand well about the importance of sangha, the vow. You see, so you may be a new sangha. Yesterday, you are lay person. going to restaurant together, and today you are get ordained, and the other friend of yours, who understand the meaning of sangha, who understand the value of the vow, and today when you see first time, you are as a sangha and suddenly do prostration, some sangha reject. So that shouldn't be. When people genuinely offering prostration, you have to let them offer prostration because you have the vow, and that give opportunity the others to accumulate merit. Like that. It's like last time, in in one stage, I used to refuse getting offerings. I used to get I refused to accept the offerings. So I was told by one of my gurus say that I think they heard about it, and he said yes, they understand that that you want to you refuse because of you regard them as equal, or whatever the reason may be. But he said you as a sangha, you have a vow, they accumulate opportunity to accumulate merit. You should accept it, but then you should use meaningfully. You see, then there's one stage that I accept any lay people making offering. Okay, I accept. When I go for the teaching tours or when I'm in the center, when lay people offer. But then certain sangha, when the sangha comes to make offering, I usually used to refuse. I offer back. Then again, uh, uh, so yeah. So again, I clarified with one of my teacher then that if the same vow, let's say fully gelong, same fully ordination vow, yeah, then it's okay. Yeah, then but if you since you are fully ordained sangha, then there's a novice sangha, pre-ordained sangha. If they're making offering, then there's a benefit for you to accept their offerings because of the vow. So you are giving opportunity, for them to accumulate merit. So then after that, so that was very lately, very recently, I clarified and I understand, but I have other reason. But then that teacher very strongly emphasized that they are lower, they have less vow than you, and then if they do prostration, you have to accept for their benefit. When they make offering, you have to accept for their benefit. So like that. You see. Mm. So this is why I'm saying here is, there are certain restrictions, but then there are also, on the basis of the practices, you become very flexible, and everything should do in accordance with the virtue and in accordance with the benefit of the sentient being. You see, so these are just an example. That's what I'm saying. Mm. Mm. So. Yeah, and also like offering praises. You see, so sometimes students, offer praises, and sometimes you don't think a bigger picture, and you feel shy. Someone offering praises, then you stop them, not to praise. So that also, there's a self-grasping, self-cherishing influence there. You see, so in the practice of the Lojong, in the practice of altruism, since your life is dedicated to bring benefit to the sentient being, and when someone receive those benefit and see those qualities, virtuous qualities in you, and when they want to offer praises, you have to let them offer praises, because that give opportunity to accumulate merit. You see, so I'm sometimes mixing up with the ordinary thinking, and sometimes the actual Dharma way of thinking. Sometimes it doesn't, easily comes in your idea, and sometimes behave like the ordinary way. You see, so so this is what I'm saying. Yeah. So anyway, so in short, uh, since you are your life is dedicated for the benefit of others, bringing temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of others, then you just have to be molded into, be convenient into accordingly. But everything has to be on the basis of ethic and virtue. So you see, so sometimes we say in the course of the, even temporary happiness of others. So then that could be sensual happiness, delusional happiness. Uh, uh, since someone desire delusional happiness, sensual happiness, then in the name of benefiting others, if you become convenient for that, then that's negative. That's not virtue. There's no ethic there. There's no virtuous principle is there. There's no ethical principle is there. It against the morality. It against the karmic law of cause and effect. You see, uh, in the name of bringing sensual happiness to the person, but the action is, if it is negative, then you are contributing cause of suffering. So in that manner, then you have to have a very clear mind. You see, so everything has to be. You have to be very convenient to anything that benefit of sentient being, but on the basis of genuine benefit of their well-being, which has to be virtue and ethic. Basis on virtue and ethic. I'm easily offended, and my grudge is always strong. You see, yeah. So that's what, yeah. So as I already said before, you say as a Lojong practitioner, Mayanic Dharma practitioner, your heart has to be so huge, and you need to have the vast wisdom, to be able to interpret, everything that people relate to you, that can able to interpret and take onto the path to enlightenment. So therefore, if you carry that, then you will be not offended. So therefore, if you feel that you easily get offended, so that means self-grasping, self-cherishing attitudes are really influenced to you, and your practice is very poor. So we need to, develop the practice. Then, you see, as a Dharma practitioner, and in particular as a Mayana Dharma practitioner, in our life there may be so many things and so many situations, so many people may come across harming you, offended you, yeah, and as an altruistic practitioner, we cannot hold any grudge on them. Um, we have to forgive them. We have to liberate them from the chain of their continuous committing of karma. They may be continue to harming you. They have harmed you greatly, and you as a altruistic practitioner, that you need to have the wisdom and great compassion to help that harm giver to end to their negativities, which is by dedicating virtues, by at least like breaking the chain of uh, negativities, by letting go of the grudge and generating compassion. So like that. So someone may have offended you yesterday. Someone used to call him or her as your enemy yesterday, but then today, as a Lojong practitioner, no different that person than anyone else. that person is still attractive to you as an object of your benefit of compassion. So that much training that we need to carry. You see, someone yesterday accused you, false accuse you, but today when you meet that person, you have no grudge. You rather, you see, from your side, you have a pure view. You see, so such a wonderful practice, isn't it? Such a wonderful practice, isn't it? When we are able to practice like that, first person yourself will be never be harmed. You see, even you felt the harm for one day or for one moment, but then the pain won't continue. You see, so this if we're able to practice this way, how wonderful it is. How wonderful it is. And not only to people or a person, but also to any situation. As a Mahayanic altruistic Dharma practitioner, as a Buddhist practitioner, everything is byproduct of karma. You see, so everything has a meaning, beautiful meaning. Even the nastiest experiences comes in our way, opportunity to purify the karma. So you feel delighted, or if you don't feel delighted, but at least there's no extra pressure or harm or suffering onto you when the negativities comes in our way. When situations go wrong with us, you see. As a Lojong Dhamma altruistic practitioner, then when the situation, any situation, harmful or suffering situation comes in our way, then that is the opportunity for us to develop our heart, develop our concentration, develop our patience, uh, so basically we can able to integrate entire practice of the six paramita onto the situation. You see, so therefore the negative situation that comes in our way becomes such a powerful resources to liberate us faster from the cyclic existence. You see, so that way, when you really take these practices in account, our day to day, every day become happy. At least every day become meaningful. There's no sense of like a hurtfulness and yeah, grudge or hurtfulness, suffering in our continuum. You see, the weather may be gloomy, but then you are not affected. You see, so we need to come to a position, almost like in that position. When we practice Lojong, situation may be so bad, like the pandemic. You see, around the world. Yeah, you see, even in your own family. But then understanding of karma, understanding of the power of your love, compassion, altruism. You see, you know the situation is very bad, but you are not disturbed. You rather become strong. You become stronger. You become more concentrated in your practice, in your compassion, in your dedications or prayers, practices become even stronger. You see, when your heart is disturbed, when your emotion is stirred, then the practice won't be so solid. You see, so these are so powerful, so important. Especially if you are caring for someone next to you who is going through a crisis. It could be relation, it could be health, it could be financial. And you as a Lojong practitioner, you cannot, you also cannot collapse together with your someone there who is already collapsing. You have to be there as a guard, as a something to lean on. This concrete mountain of altruism, with full of wisdom and with full of altruistic attitude. You see, so the situation make you even stronger, even more alert. You see, even more firm. You see, so we need to apply that in our day-to-day life. The adversities, ups and downs are like a heavy rainfall. It's abundance. Of course, that's expected because it's samsara. expected, not only outside, even within our own aggregates, like as a emotion, the samsaric emotion, samsaric physical body, sure, there's ups and downs, always, it's like a rainfall. It's expected, you see, but our wisdom has to be intact. Our attitude has to be intact with the Dharma wisdom, with the Dharma attitude, altruistic wisdom and altruistic attitude. Okay, so when we start to practice like that, then Dharma really works. Lojong really works. You see, so we don't have to go out there to see psychologists. Or we don't have to go out there, to see therapists. You see, of course, if needed to take a certain medicine, of course we can. Uh, uh, but how to structure our thinking, the Lojong teachings are unbelievable, unbelievable. You see, so we just need to practice. You see, we just need to practice. Not just knowing not good enough, and especially when something goes wrong with your own body and mind, and something goes wrong with your own family member. That is like a dedicated case study about your practice. So then challenge yourself to make sure that you're able to practice perfectly. You see, that you see. So that way, then we can really steadily progress on the path. Otherwise, learn so much, read so much, listen Dhamma so much. When the crisis come, then become helpless. You see, so that shows that we didn't really take account into practice. You see, take account into habitual training. You see, so something like that. Yeah. Okay. So I will stop here. So we do short dedication. So we dedicate all the collective merits from this practice, this teaching session, and all the merit that individually accumulated in the past and present, and also going to accumulate in the future, and all the merit that accumulated by Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, gurus, good people, for the past, present, future, be the complete cause for numberless sentient beings to be free from all the sufferings and actualize all the causes and conditions for happiness after full enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause for anyone that who have health conditions like such as Peggy Bash and Bert Bash, Mada Atam Kaur, Rokini Tev Kula Ratnam, then Jel Moholan, Madam Tan Ho Ho, Chen Ting Hua, Lim Chin Ye, Irene Singh, Chong Lai Peng, Caroline, Dr. Lee, then also Julie Kwan, Wong Chunru, Chris Price, David, Tony, Mr. Ha, Ochit Bhat, everyone, and the rest of the others that who have requested prayers, and requested prayers from our Guru, requested prayers from you. May this collective merit be the cause for them to overcome all the health difficulties or whatever other difficulties that they may be going through, and actualize perfect health, meaningful life, long life, and fulfill all the aspirations accordingly. And also dedicate this collective merit to anyone who passed away, in particularly, due to COVID and the war, etc., and also to those that who requested prayers. Huang Hua Deep, Tam Chi On, Oliver Kenneth, Shen Juxing, Anna Jahat, Thomas Chong Sem Chong, Andrew Henshaw, Dan Ti Chen, Gerda, etc. Then who pass away due to this pandemic in particular within these 49 days, and those who pass away in the war, in the natural disaster. May they all be free from the suffering of death, suffering of intermediate state, suffering of rebirth, and actualize higher rebirth. There they meet perfect mind and Guru, and right there they actualize state of full enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause for all the world leaders and the leaders of organizations, leaders of the family, and yourself who lead your life, be free from all the negative emotions, and actualize, fill the heart with full of wisdom of selfless, wisdom of understanding, interdependent coexistence, then attitude of loving kindness, compassion, and altruism, so that anyone under their leadership can able to enjoy only peace, virtues, and happiness. May this collective merit be complete cause for all the good people in this world, like such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Jesu Lama Subramuchi, and all the spiritual gurus, and all the good people like yourself, your family members, always enjoy perfect health, long life, and fulfill all your aspirations according up to full enlightenment. May all the virtuous institutions which are so important for the peace and happiness of the world, like such as the great monasteries, nunneries, dharma institutions, virtuous institutions, all the FMD centers, and all the centers and study groups of the Dharma in Australia and around the world. Be free from all the inner outer secret obstacles, and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the Dharma perfectly, preserve the virtue and the Dharma perfectly, both in learning as well as in practice in the path, actualizing realization of all the stages of path after enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause for each and every one of us able to, practice like what we discussed in the teaching. In particularly, may our life be like a wish-fulfilling jewel for the sentient beings, happiness. Then dedicate ourselves, the merit and the purpose that we dedicate all lies in the nature of lack of inherent existence. All lies in the nature of interdependent existence. Jawadi Nudo the Lama Sanje Dubian and Dowaji, Yamaleba de Sala Gobra Show, Chanjusam Jorim Boche Majebanam Jeju, Jawani Bame by Yangon and go to Pepper shows. Tony Tower in Boche Majebanam Jeju, Jawani Bame by Yangon and go to Pepper Tower in Boche Majebanam Jeju, Jawani Bame by Yangon and go to Pepper show. Bama Zemjedam Jedana, the using and Rodam Jetato, Wanda Jus and Bagana Sujoba, the Dap when you Molam drop your Bama Zemjedam Jedana, the using and Rodam Jetato, the Jus and Bagana Sujo. The dog when you Molam drop your and also it's specifically dedicated to all the frontliners, like doctors and nurses and caretakers, to anyone that who is sick, whether to do with this COVID-19 or whether to do with any other sicknesses, all the caretakers so important for them to be healthy, emotionally, physically, financially, morally, so that they can able to help perfectly to the needy one. Semjene Bajine Banyodo Nele, Taju to Venena Maleba do Juma Mebarajo, Bedanzova Migabeshe, no Basam Semjera, when the Samba Chujin Daje Jogarera, Bekovation on the Pendan de Wamalejo and the Cheres, one ten Jadu. Shabese de Bado de Yuja, to the Jango Javet, the Yumbe, Conso Dobo, Chozo, Element to Tasso de Japondo, Shabde Jo. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. Take care, everyone. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.